exciting game. These two teams are going to go after it. We had them earlier this year. It was a heck of a game. With 2 minutes left in the game, Butler really struggled in that game, if you remember. He struggled big time, but then he came up big in the last 2 minutes to win that game for Baylor. We're the white uniforms. I want the white uniforms. My eyes can't pick that stuff up that easily.
I'll try and pick you up if I can as Jared Butler tries to get things started for Baylor. Looks down low to Vital. That's blocked from behind. It will stay with Baylor with 9 to shoot. You may have seen the shield on the face of Mark Vital. He was bumped across the nose by Jonathan Tchamwa on Thursday against Oklahoma State. Has a face contusion, and so as a result, wearing the protective mask for senior day today. And he's got it right along the baseline with the shot clock down to 6. Muscles one up, and it's senior day. Why not? Appropriate. Mark Vital scores the game's first points.
Yeah, really big, strong inside player. He's a guy you don't see a whole lot in the stats in terms of points, but he's so vital to their winning. He is really epitomizes what we define. Usually we talk about the glue guy, a guy that really rebounds, defends, does all the things it takes to win.
And there he is grabbing a rebound. Butler sets up Teague in the corner. Maceo Teague makes it a quick 5-0 start for Baylor.
Well, one of the great teams in America making threes. They make about 10 a game. They rank right up there. They shoot the three as well as anyone. In fact, they're number 1. Doesn't get better than that. 42% a game. Went through a little heat cup when he came back from COVID-19. Had a real struggle with Iowa State. And then got beat by Kansas. But they're back now with their rhythm. They're back playing. Coach told me, he said, we're really back right now.
Marcus Santos Silva called for the travel. Jared Butler also trying to put an exclamation point on the end of what very well could be a Big 12 Player of the Year season. Even with the COVID pause that Baylor suffered through, he has had an incredible season, and boy, can they knock down threes. Teague does it again.
You're up there in terms of assists per game, 17 a game, 11th in the nation. Scoring margin, third, 20 points a game differential. 3-point field goal games, 10.4, 9th in the nation. Steals, they're 7th in the nation. Turnover margin, they're 4th, and that's why they sit at number 3 in America with a great chance to be moved up to number 2 because Michigan had gotten beaten this past week by Illinois.
Vital looks back door, and Butler recovers. 7 on the shot clock. He pulls up at the elbow. That won't go. The tip by Vital. He's working the baseline, but Mac McClung takes it away for Texas Tech. And Texas Tech is the number 1 points against defensive team in the Big 12. So they can lock you down, but now they turn it over, and Santos Silva fouls Davion Mitchell.
Well, that was a good timeout call a little bit earlier by Chris Beard. He's done a heck of a job since arriving down there as their coach. He's done a terrific job getting them to understand and play their system. They defend well. They don't turn the ball over a whole lot. And they usually get quality shots. I mean, he can flat out coach. There's no doubt about it.
Vital clears some space and knocks it down as he sent T.J. Shannon flying. No call, and Vital is able to make it a 10-0 start for the Bears.
Well, he got away with one right there. I think it's because senior day. They got away with it. I don't know how he got away with that baby.
Micah Peavy in the posts. Flips one up. That won't go.
That was a tough shot
Butler's
right
got
there.
the loose ball.
I mean, Baylor's really come to play right out of the gate, man. They've come to play at home.
Shot fake. Vital rolls one off the rim. Flo Thamba lost it out of bounds. So it will go to Texas Tech, but Mark Vital has 4 of Baylor's 10.
Watch this right here now. Is Vital going to go in? Wow. I don't think it was an acting job. I think it was some contact there. I mean, he got away with one right there. It's senior day. I guess it's only appropriate that they take care of the guy in senior day. Isn't that right?
He only averages about 6 points per game, so he already has 4 on the board. That's an early curtain call on senior day for Mark Vital as he takes a seat for the first time. Mark Vital will be the first college graduate in his family. And it's just a great story. And he really epitomizes so much of what this Baylor program has become under Scott Drew. Here's T.J. Shannon, closely guarded by Meyer. Meyer digs in deep. Shannon holds on to the basketball. Wide open McCullough in the lane. Takes a bump. And he'll go to the free throw line to try and get Texas Tech on the board.
You know, McCullough had the earlier shot. He made the extra dribble to try and get closer, but he had a simple shot in the lane. He's a solid all-around player for them. Tough, physical kid.
Chris Beard had a great line earlier this year talking to him about Kevin McCullough and said, I told Kevin McCullough, people call you a role player as if somehow that's a bad thing. What's wrong with being a role player? You know what they call role players in the NBA? Multi-millionaires.
I like that. I like that. There's no wrong with being a role player. Everybody has to define some way. You got a star, you got role players. Texas Tech's got to get Shannon going and Kyler Edwards. And Edwards has been playing a lot better. So is Shannon. Shannon had an injury that he was trying to hide for a while. In terms of a foot, he was going to complain, moan and groan. The kid was hurting a lot. We saw him earlier this year. Seems to be okay now. With Mitchell. Mitchell's had a great year for them. Nothing like a team where they make shots.
The charge. Butler thought about a 3, instead gives it up to Meyer on the baseline. That was blocked. Thrown down by Kyler Edwards, so we'll step good for a guy that won a conference championship back in 1950.
I was 11 years old. I was cheering for him. I know you weren't cheering for him. I was.
Now, history has been made by Baylor on many fronts with Scott Drew. He has taken this program to never-seen-before heights. And they can do something else today, Dick, they've never done before. Or at least all the way back in 1948, the last time they were undefeated at home for an entire season. They have never had an undefeated home season at the Farrell Center.
That started at the Farrell Center in 1988.
For Jonathan Chamachachua.
They're so unselfish. They really share the ball. You know, you mentioned Scott Drew. He came in 2003, started one of the biggest rebuild jobs in the NCAA history. What he did, he's unbelievable. Sports National Coach of the Year 2020. He's been a brilliant guy, great communicator. I'm proud to say he's going to be one of our honored guests next year at our gala.
There's the first field goal for Texas Tech as Kyler Edwards is able to knock one down.
He's a veteran player. You know, he played in that championship game against Virginia, did well in that game, and he's a guy that's now picked it up. And they need him, especially going to tournament action. He and Shannon have picked it up. What a great drive. What a great drive. What about the speed he put in his goal in the basket?
Davion Mitchell accelerates to the goal. Shannon comes back the other way. And that's out of bounds off T.J. Shannon. Challenged by Meyer and Chamachachua. For the 36th year, Champ Week continues on the networks of ESPN tomorrow. The West Coast Conference semifinals will take place. St. Mary's meets Gonzaga at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ESPN. And then Pepperdine squares off against BYU at midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific. That on ESPN2. You can always watch these games live on the ESPN app from anywhere.
I miss going out to Vegas. You and I used to go out to Vegas, had a great time out there.
Absolutely.
Go see some shows. Rod Stewart went to see. I mean, some great shows over the years. Celine Dion. I miss that. And I miss seeing the Zags of Mark Few. What a year they've had.
Meyer accelerates. Tried to give one up to Chamachachua. And he was fouled on a reach-in. Well, all season long, it was Baylor and Gonzaga back and forth in the debate as to who should be number one. The Zags obviously undefeated. They have held on to that title the entire year. When Baylor finally lost a game, Michigan slid up into the #2 spot this past week, dropping Baylor 1 spot to #3. But, Dick, do you think it's an argument still between Gonzaga and Baylor as to who the best team in America is?
Well, I think they're going to put Michigan in that conversation. What about Illinois? So Illinois as well. I'm not convinced. You play on a neutral court, play those two people. I don't know. Right now, certainly Gonzaga really gets the slight edge and dominating people that they haven't played during the regular season, the kind of competition they did early in the season they did. But let's face reality. I think that Mark will be the first to say it's not like you're facing what they face in the Big Ten. I mean, every game is an absolute battle.
How about the week Illinois has had? And we capped it yesterday with their win. The game we called in Columbus against Ohio State, as knocking one down is T.J. Shannon. But they go out, and without Ayo Dosunmu, they're beating top 10 teams in Iowa and Michigan. And then they come up with another top 10 win on the road yesterday at Ohio State. You might be right. Illinois might be right there with the best anywhere in college basketball.
Oh, I really believe that. Nice little drive on the baseline.
Terrence Nadolny gets on the board.
Nadolny gets a score on the baseline. Prior to that, Shannon knocked out a 3, and that's good news for them if they get him going, because he could score. He could score. One thing about him, they're never going to quit. This team is going to battle and battle and battle. They take pride in their defense. Palomera.
Myers out by Shannon. That's his first.
Bob, we got some interesting things happening, especially with tournament play. Now, Drake got beat today, for example, by Loyola Chicago. Now, what do you do with Drake if you're the committee? I mean, they had a great year. 25, I think, and 4. And you look at Belmont got beat last night. They're 26 and 4. Do you leave those teams home? Because you can look at their scheduling and say, well, they don't play the kind of heavyweights that the power conferences play. Or do you reward greatness all year? In the case of Drake, they're playing without their star scorer and rebounder, named Hempel. And I'll tell you this, they say he's going to come back for the tournament. So I hope the committee looks at that.
Blocking foul called on Nadolny on the drive by Davion Mitchell. So Mitchell will head to the free throw line.
Mitchell's so dangerous because he can shoot the 3 as well as drive the basketball. His stock going up and up. I personally think the Missouri Valley Conference is a really quality league, and I think both those teams should be in the tournament. Loyola, and certainly when I look at Drake and the kind of year they had. Let's reward greatness.
Pardon me, that foul called on Micah Peavy. That was Peavy's first. The other way comes Mac McClung.
McClung's been quiet in this game.
T.J. Shannon is surrounded by Bears. And it looks like a foul is going to be called on a reach-in, as it looked like Baylor had T.J. Shannon bottled up. They'll call the foul on Vital.
And look at here. 3 guys all over him. They're going to trap him. They make some contact, and Vital gets called. See, the mascot. So they called on the guy with the mask on. The mask was the difference.
Here's Mac McClung. He's missed his only field goal attempt so far. 4th leading scorer in the Big 12 Conference.
He always gets so much attention. He's such a tough, hard-nosed player. Came to route at Georgetown.
This time, Butler fouls Santos Silva. But one of the best moments, a manager takes a charge in the game. How do you think the teammates are going to react? Exactly as you would expect. It was one of the best moments we've seen this season. And no one loved seeing it more than Chris Beard.
Yeah, because he teaches them. Step in, take the charge. Ty Larson became their PT Beard. For that moment, he was a big man on campus.
Adam Flagler fumbles it out of bounds for Baylor. But Chris Beard, he's got a culture. It has been built in Lubbock. There is a buy-in, Dick, among players, student managers, coaches, the video crew. And, you know, there's a lot of loyalty to that coach, I think, among these players and that staff.
Well, they respect them. When you get respect, you can be tough, firm, and a disciplinarian. But he's really got great respect from the players. We saw it yesterday with Coach Underwood. Same thing in the huddle. We're looking at Gene Cady and Bobby Knight. His intensity and his emotion.
Micah Peavy from the elbow. That comes up short. Another rebound for Mark Vital.
Now, it's an important game here. You're Baylor, you're Texas Tech. You want to finish on a high note. You're just not coming out here going through motions.
Meyer pulls up. That's an air ball.
He's been playing well, too. He got an air ball there, Bob, but he's been really playing well all year for that.
Heavey with a size advantage on Flagler.
What makes Baylor so good, they play efficiently on both sides of the ball. The free shot over the top. A one-on-one maneuver here. Oh, he stripped
too much dribbling. And Butler lost it and then commits a foul.
Hey, he was doing too much dribbling right there, no doubt about it. The superstar got stripped right there. He's had a great career, tremendous career. We're trying to go a little change of direction down there, find a little deflection of the ball. Too much dribbling. Everybody's standing around watching him. Everybody's like the Kodak man. They're taking pictures. They're watching him. And he's bouncing the ball. Maybe he thought he was playing for the Harlem Globetrotters right there.
It was an early 13-point lead for Baylor. That's the second foul on Butler. So this game becomes a little more interesting now. It looked like Baylor might run away and hide and blow out Texas Tech. Texas Tech with the ball, down by 8. Strong drive by Shannon. McCullough knocks it out of bounds, I think. No, they're going to say it will stay with Texas Tech. But with 2 fouls now, Scott Drew puts Jared Butler on the bench. And Texas Tech has the ball, Dick, down by only 8.
Hey, well, think about this last night. Sitting in the hall, right? They were up 18, 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns to start the game. 18-0 on St. John's. Unbelievable. St. John's came back and won the game.
Tyler Edwards hits a 3. Texas Tech right back in the game. They've cut a 13-point lead down to 5.
You know, Bob, when they get Edwards and Shannon, the big points on the board for them, with their defense as a team, they can beat anybody on a given night. They went a little slide where those 2 guys weren't scoring. They seem to get their rhythm back down. Get the mojo back.
T hits another 3. He already has 3 triples.
You know, I'll take their backcourt over any backcourt in the country. If you throw T, Mitchell, and you throw in also a Flagler coming off the bench, the guy by the name of Butler, are you kidding me? That foursome, to me, is the best foursome in the nation.
Strong drive by McCullough.
A little isolation. McCullough got one-on-one maneuver on the left side. Goes to the goal strong. I think they do a little bit too much dribbling. Normally you see the ball move a little bit more. That's why they're right up there and assist, sharing the ball.
T feeling it. And that heat check ends up missing everything and going out of bounds.
You know, today, Loyola winning that. Loyola Chicago, Porter Moser's done a great job. They went to the NCAA tournament several years ago. Remember Sister Jean? She's now 101 years of age. You talk about a great story. A love for the Ramblers is special. Right now, they're going to be back in the big dance.
McClung tied up by Davion Mitchell. McClung thought he was fouled as he got knocked to the deck, but the officials called that contact incidental, and then Davion Mitchell tied up the basketball.
But Chris Beard doesn't think it was incidental, I'll tell you that. He doesn't believe it was incidental. None whatsoever. Worked for years under Bob Knight. Now, Bob Knight did a heck of a job with this program. Look at the number of times he took him to the NCAA tournament. That's not easy. Not easy at all.
Seemed to be some confusion at the scorer's table as to who had the arrow. It belonged to Texas Tech. So they still have 15 on the shot clock. Eight to shoot. McClung from NBA range. And another rebound for Vital.
You know, you're finding a good execution, good spacing. You look at the club, they have good spacing, they move the ball.
Teague in the mid-range. Santos Silva battling for the loose ball with Flo Thamba. Looks like Thamba will be called for a Baylor foul. All on the Wooden Award national ballot. That is the top 15 as that runner comes up short for TJ Shannon.
You know, remember when you and I had the game with Gonzaga and Timmy came in the game? He came in and he started to play. We said, it's Timmy time. Look at him. He's going to be a star. Timmy's going to be a star. And, man, you could see it. You remember that, Robert?
The VBDI was in rare form that night. There's no question. The Vital Ball Dome Index called Drew Timme 2 years ago, I think that was. And here he is on the Wooden Award top 15 as McCullough misses from the corner. Vital tried to take it to the basket. There was contact. And it looks like TJ Shannon will be called for the foul. That was Kyler Edwards that took the bump.
You know, I think somebody should go after Vital as a tight end. I really do. I think somebody in the NFL should give him a shot at training camp. He's not going to get that kind of chance in the NBA. And you think about the guys that played basketball over the years. Tony Gonzalez. You think about Gates down there. He's a tremendous football player as a tight end. There's been several guys. And I think that he, right now, the scouts. I'm giving you scouts a tip, man. In football, go out there and look at them.
Rebound inside by Nadolny. Well, Rico Gathers, he did that. He was a tight end looking basketball player for Baylor. And a couple of years ago, yeah, he ended up with the Cowboys. So it's not like not only has that precedent not been set many times over, that precedent was reinforced by a player who played basketball for Baylor and ended up with an opportunity to play in the NFL.
I just know you're so well prepared for any situation. You got all those notes, man. That head of yours just comes out with all kinds of facts.
Well, you're not the only VBDI on this crew, I guess. Baylor turns it over. Champ Week rolls on later. One more women's title game over on ESPN2. The Pac-12 championship game between UCLA and Stanford comes your way at 8 Eastern. 5 Pacific. You can always watch it live on the ESPN app from anywhere as well.
Talk about drama in the Pac-12. What an unbelievable dramatic moment. USC and UCLA, a 3-point shot. USC wins at the end. And they got to hope today that Oregon gets beat by Oregon State. If Oregon wins, they win outright the Pac-12 championship.
Shot clock down to 10. Chibuzo Agbo kicks it back up top to Edwards for 3. The back tap kept alive by Peavy. The freshman.
Right there. Peavy made an
and here is
play.
Peavy on the baseline.
Good ball movement. Better swing the ball.
Contested 3 is knocked down by Edwards.
Tyler Edwards, I'm telling you something, Bob. He starts making shots. That elevates them as a team big time. They're back in this game, as we saw. At the bad start in the game, they were down 10-1.
Baylor at one point led 16-3. A 13-point lead right out of the gate. There's Butler coming back in with 2 fouls. Reinserted in the game by Scott True. And he hits a 3.
Well, who's the player of the year in the Big 12? Is it Butler? Is it Cade Cunningham? Who's the player of the year?
It's a really close call. I would vote for Butler, but if you voted for Cade Cunningham, who could argue? There's another 3 for Kyler Edwards.
Kyler Edwards is feeling. He said, what about me? What about me? I'm the MVP right now this afternoon. Can't go wrong with Butler or Cunningham. But you know what? I'm going to go with Butler's playing with a really good cast, a tremendous cast. I'm not saying the kids aren't good down at Oklahoma State. They proved they were. Going down to beat West Virginia on their floor without him, without Likely as well. But I'm a little, you know, I guess I'm a little bit biased because we had that great performance. You look at Edwards by Cade Cunningham when he put the 40 on the board to beat Oklahoma, and that stays in my mind. So based on that, I would give the edge to Mr. Cunningham. They're both All-Americans, doesn't matter. And they're both going to make some good dollars.
I think they're both. Yeah, in terms of their ding-a-ling-ling, right? Now what you call it, the bank account future, they both have a bright future.
Yeah, that cash register is going to go ding-a-ling-ding. Mine just empties out.
So a chance with a 3-point shot potentially for Texas Tech to tie the game after being down by 13. Blitzed early by Baylor, but It's a mentally tough group that Chris Beard has. And they are right back in it as McCullough feeds one underneath.
Oh, nice pass.
Peavy with a shot fake. Back to McCullough for three. In and out.
Baby was in.
Back tap saved by Peavy.
Good play right there. Keep the ball alive.
Peavy pulls up. That's a little too strong. It looks like a foul will be called on the floor on Chama Chachua.
Chama Chachua, as we all know, every day Jonathan really has got to play as hard. He had a battle with the COVID-19 and really slowed him down a little bit. Look at right here. There's the contact. Not going to get the deck. You know, the tempo of the game, Bob, we haven't mentioned really, the tempo of the game is really the way that Texas Tech would like this game to be played. They get the tempo now their way. They'll run when opportunities create are there. But right now, they know they're not going to go up and down the floor with Baylor.
Peavy harassed by Davion Mitchell out near midcourt and hands it off to Shannon. 8 to shoot.
Peavy next year is going to be one heck of a special player. And familiar this year.
Launches a three and banks it in. And Davion Mitchell says, "Are you kidding me?"
Are you serious? Come on now. Come on now. That's how upsets happen when those kind of shots go down.
Can Mitchell answer? Yes, he can.
So Mitchell said, that's the way you do it. Nothing but nylon, smooth, silky smooth. Davion Mitchell, what a year he's had. He might get some votes for player of the year.
McCullough, finger roll, draws the foul on Vital.
Whether it be Lionel Richie, I love Lionel Richie. I've seen him down here several times. All night long, baby.
You're coming with me someday to fish. That's going to happen.
Hey, Lou Willie's in the house.
There we go.
Willie's in the house.
Celebrity
He's 86 years old now. He just made a song, made up one of Frank Sinatra's old big hits. There's nobody like Francis Albert Sinatra. Saw him 3 times, walked out. It was like unbelievable when he walked on the stage. Talk about a guy that had charisma.
Tyler Edwards needs some
right
help.
Here by Edwards.
And it's been a quiet start for McClung as well. 1 of 4 from the field, 3 points. Meyer for 3.
Shots.
That's a break. So Vital gets the offensive rebound and a chance for a 3-point play.
And that's a typical play of Vital all through his career. Hustle, scrap on the glass, defend. Just a tremendous defensive player. Just does all the things. This is what a winner does, man. Those kind of guys help you get to the winner's circle. We saw a couple of those guys yesterday for Illinois. You talk about Granderson, you talk about Williams, son of Frankie Williams, who was one of my favorites, big-time scorer in Illinois. Hey, what about a tip of the hat? I got to give a tip of the hat to Pat Kelsey down at Winthrop. Okay, tip of the hat to him. He's only lost 1 game this year. They're going dancing, baby. They won their tournament today. They're going dancing. Big ball speed up front.
Edwards does it again. Tyler Edwards stays red hot.
Never expecting that from him all year long because he was terrific in the run to the final game and he got beat by Virginia in overtime. I think he had double figures in that game. I know, like 14, 15.
Butler off the handoff from Vital gets fouled.
Tyler Edwards doesn't care. He doesn't care it's senior night. He doesn't care it's Baylor, number 3 in America. He takes that ball to the goal. He's like, come on, man. I can play too. Us kids from Lubbock can play. Red Raiders.
Well, if you want credentials for Big 12 Player of the Year, Jared Butler is number 3 in scoring, number 2 in assists, number 3 in field goal percentage, number 1 in 3-point percentage, and number 1 in steals. in the Big 12
I just changed my
this season.
vote then. I changed my vote. I did something in my vote. I changed. I'm going for Butler now. Wow, I didn't know all those numbers. Are you kidding me? See, that's why you got to be patient before you submit your ballots. You got to be patient. I'm sorry, Cade. I picked you as a first-team All-American, but I can't pick you over Butler now as Player of the Year. I just can't do it, Robert.
It is very rare that I'm able to change the VBDI, like make it to a 180 mid-game, but I did. I just changed it.
You did, absolutely.
Santos Silva trying to seal inside. The foul called on Vital. And by the way, before we went to break earlier, I thought that Vital had picked up his second foul. They actually called a foul on Matthew Meyer. So that is the second foul on Mark Vital. And we'll see if he stays in the game with 2:18 to go in the half. Looks like he will.
No, hey, Bob, what I'd like to do right here is, gentleman died. They're just a great, great guy. Andy Hoffman, his son Jack was the kid from Nebraska. When they brought him out of the hospital, Jack had cancer, and the football team brought him out. They put him in a red-white game, and he ran for a touchdown, and became he was a big hit. We had him at our gala. We had his dad at our gala, and his dad was jogging, collapsed, and he'd been battling some brain cancer himself, and lost his life. So I want to send my sympathies out for the Hoffman family, just a great family, beautiful people.
Yeah, all our sympathies will go to a family that obviously has dealt with more tragedy than any family should ever have to deal with.
And he couldn't do enough, the dad, to raise money to help other kids. He had me involved with him a couple of times, and I'll tell you, I love people like that. Where they're fighting adversity and tough times with his son, yet he wants to help others. And that's the one thing I've noticed, the common denominator in raising dollars for kids battling cancer, that so many that are affected with it can't do enough to want to help others. They're playing with a little swag in them right
inside
now.
With the left hand.
They're playing with a little swag when you're at Texas Tech. They really, right now, they're not intimidated at all by the record of Butler. They're down here battling, man, as McClung. He's one tough kid. I love his toughness.
Baylor led this game right out of the gate, 16-3, and that is the mental toughness of this Texas Tech team under Chris Beard, as they just stayed with their game plan and have worked their way right back into it. And McClung is able to draw the charge on Davion Mitchell.
It was a charge right there. And I'll tell you this, Robert, I'm going to admit it. I have to admit this. When it was 16-3, I was basically going to, we're going to get the filler material. We got to get all the filler material now. Forget about it. We got a game. Game is on. Big time. Texas Tech and Baylor.
And as you said, Dickie B, this game being played right now in the low 30s with a minute to go in the half. That is a Texas Tech kind of score. This doesn't look like it's going to get up in the 80s anytime soon, as it looks like now a foul will be called on the floor. But both teams are over the limit, so that will put Kevin McCullough at the free throw line to try and give Texas Tech the lead.
But he wanted to score on the drive to the goal, but he got fouled prior to releasing the shot. He was quiet in their last game, McCullough. Very physical, tough, hard-nosed guy. Had some injuries early in the year.
He had a high ankle sprain that he suffered in practice just before the season began and missed the first 9 games of the year. But since he has come back, Texas Tech has been a different team, as they lost a couple of games without him to start off the season.
You know, Bob, you got a chance to win when you hold people. They have 12 teams below 60 this year. You got a chance. And when you look, certainly, you think about transfers in this. You look at Texas Tech, McClung, Santos Silva, Burton, who's not playing. I mean, these guys are transfers. Then when he had the Final Four team, they have Mooney and Owens. They were transfers, and last year, Holyfield and Clark. So he's dealing. If a kid wants to transfer and he can play, Chris Beard is open to giving him an opportunity. And we're going to see chaos next year in basketball when they have transfers, where you're allowed to transfer without sitting out the year. It's going to be total chaos.
Spin move by Butler. How sweet was that? Big 12, their first conference championship since 1950. They won that on Tuesday night in a thrilling overtime win in Morgantown against West Virginia.
They beat West Virginia. West Virginia was playing great basketball. Won 7 out of 8. The only loss was the 1-point loss to Oklahoma. Then they got beat yesterday by Oklahoma State without Cunningham. Surprise. Hey, what about a
shot clock
also a
turned
tip of the
off.
hat? Hey, Bob, a tip of the hat to Mr. Drews. I mean, think about his brother, Bryce. He won the first for Grand Canyon WAC championship regular season. Bryce Drew, 1 year at ESPN after getting let go by Vanderbilt. He proved I can coach. I just got to be able to be in a situation where I got a chance to really get players and win. And he did a great job this year with Grand Canyon.
Davion Mitchell misses that floater at the buzzer. Production behind the arc, and probably some more from Mac McClung in the second half if they want to pull off this upset. McClung, 5 points. He had one made three in the first half, 2 of 5 from the field. Butler floats one up, in, out, right back in again to start the second half for Baylor.
You know, Butler in that first matchup against them, he was silent for like about 34 minutes. And the last, part of the game, he took the game over, making one big play after another so they could escape with an 8-point win up down in Lubbock.
Edwards double team,
nice.
Santos Silva with a shot fake.
Didn't need the bounce. Didn't need that bounce. Right to the goal. Come on, Mr. Silva. Santos Silva, you're too good for that. Don't need to bounce that ball. Now watch this. They're going to jump the double team. Hey, bounce, don't need that. That has allowed the defense to come over and bump him. Now he's got to make 2 free throws. Instead of getting the dunk, maybe he can foul, get 3. Oh, I'm fired up now, Bob. I'm fired up.
And he's only a 56% free throw shooter. And of course he knocks the first one down and basically puts it right in our face.
You know why I'm fired up? I just saw my commercial a little while ago. Geico, baby, getting drained with that water, and that fired me up. It's like brought back memories. People ask how many times did you take that? 3 takes. 3 takes.
I think you're fired up because every time we see that commercial, that's another Dick Vitale ding-a-ling-ding cash register.
Well, Geico, great people. Treated me like royalty down there. Love them, man.
That's
Love
good.
Keep
Geico saying
awesome,
it.
baby. Let's go. We got a heck of a game going on right now.
Butler, NBA range. Way short.
He shot that from Lubbock. Oh, nice pass.
Santos Silva. That time goes right to the bucket. Lays it in, and we're tied.
Nice 2-man game right there. Drive the bounce pass. Put it on a dime, as Clark Kellogg would say. Caught that baby. Used his left hand on reverse. Tremendous play right there.
And no unnecessary bounce. It's like Santos Silva heard you. Teague to Vital. And Mark Vital will shoot 2. Tyler Edwards with the foul.
Wow, look at the long-range jumper right there by Butler. And watch the pass right now. Watch Edwards. He's going to drive that bounce pass. Great pass. Great cut without the ball. I love seeing that. The art of basketball. Movement without the basketball. Not just running to the 3-point line. Flying threes all over the place. 45, 50 a game when I watch some of those NBA games. I don't know sometimes those guys don't get angry. The analysts watching Charles Barkley and company, Mr. Van Gundy and all that. I don't get angry seeing nothing but threes and threes and threes. Now, I know the analytics say you're better off taking threes percentage-wise, but that's not the art of basketball. I want to see cutting and screening and driving. The club's been very quiet. They're playing him tough. Every time I get one of his games, people play him so tough.
Mark Vital with his 7th rebound to go along with 8 points. Here's Butler in transition. Check that Teague. He knocks it down again.
I'll tell you, Teague, man, he makes shots. I mean, somebody in the NBA's got to like that guy. Because really, there's nothing like guys that can make shots. So many guys are good athletes, runners, jumpers. They can't convert.
TV in the mid-range. That's good.
He's going to be a very good player. I think about some of the greats I watched during my 40 years at ESPN shooting. Reggie Miller, man. I saw Reggie down at UCLA. Think about Chris Mullin, Steve Alford. I mean, those guys, when they shot the ball, you thought it was going in. You felt it was going to go in.
Foul called, it looks like against Flo Thamba, for a moving screen.
Watch right now here, this Butler. He's going to have his buddy T. Here's Mr. T. Steps up at the 3. Now they shoot 42% as a team. That's unreal. Number 1 in the nation. And they defend. What a job he has done. Scott Drew in the mix big time for coaching here nationally. but I got to give that edge to Juwan Howard because he took a team that was not ranked and taking them to where they are has been amazing. And win or lose, you know, I don't know how you feel about it. I don't think they can lose a chance of being the #1 seed there, but that's for sure.
Yeah, I think the Big 12 is such a good league that whoever they play next week, they're probably going to win their first game because they're going to get a play-in game opponent in game #1. But they're going to play a really good team, even if they lose at the Big 12 championship. And I agree with you. I don't think the committee penalizes you for losing to good teams.
I don't think Michigan or I don't think those teams are going to lose their #1 seeds. And not at all. The Baylor right there. Baylor, Michigan, Gonzaga. They're not going to lose it. Illinois, I don't think Illinois will lose it either. I really don't. I think because whoever they play, when you talk about the Big Ten, I mean, come on, everybody in their league can play.
I think Joe Lunardi earlier today, on behalf of Baylor, said that they could lose today and even lose their first-round game in the Big 12 championship. And according to Joey Brackets, Baylor will be a 1 seed regardless of any results from here on out.
And if Joey Brackets says it, Dr. L says it, I believe it. I listen. When he speaks, I listen.
How about that old school up and under scoop by Macy O.T. He is red hot today. He's got 15 on 5 of 8 shooting.
O.T. Mitchell Butler. What a threesome. I said to listen when he speaks because I'm not too good of a listener. I like to talk.
I disagree.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. You know what? I do listen.
You listen to everything I say. Santos Silva does it again.
Silva down in the low post. They're executing, playing really well. They're going toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose with Baylor. I mean, if they win here today, Baylor, if I go to the #2, they have to bounce pass. And think about it. When the season started, who was #1 and #2? It was Gonzaga and Baylor. And it's been that way basically all year, except that one little blip. And they had that little blip because I'm going to blame it on COVID. COVID really hurt them big time. When you come back from that, you can see in a game against Iowa State where they struggled big time, the rhythm, the timing, it really affects the players. It takes a while to get back in the flow. And
they had a 21-day pause, and I think for 18 of those days, they couldn't even practice. And they looked terrible when they came back, even in a win at home against Iowa State, and then the loss to Kansas. But boy, did they come back in that overtime game in Morgantown on Tuesday. There's a wing jumper that won't go. And the 50-50 ball is won by Hill. Or rather, Tyreek Smith trying to throw it in the front court. And we'll step aside for just a moment.
Coach of the year, for me, it's an easy choice. Juwan Howard, the amazing job he has done with the Wolverines. I mean, they're going to be in a fight today. For some reason, I just think Michigan State's going to play them really tough. But he's my national coach of the year. He's been a brilliant leader for a program that was not rated very high when the season started. And then my player of the year, again, I think is easy. Staying in the Big Ten, going for Mr. Garza, who, by the way, I was announcing at the end of the season, they're retiring number 55. No one will ever wear that number again in Iowa basketball history.
They might retire 31 at Butler, or at Baylor, rather, if Macy Teague keeps this up. As McClung, he can't hit the step back. Teague's last 3 makes him 5 of 6 from three-point land. He's got 18 points to lead all scorers, and Baylor's got the 5-point lead. So 31 is as hot as could be.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Not at all. Take a look at Teague right here with 18. The rest of the team, 29, 5 threes. My guy, Mr. Wischusen, the multi-talented Bob Wischusen.
There's Vital. The tip follow. Vital tries again. He's got an offensive rebound. Out to Mitchell. He hits a 3.
Well, you know, Mitchell now can shoot the 3. Right? We know that, right? But that really is a credit to Vital. Vital made that happen. Yeah, you were right to clap your hands. You know what? You should take him out for dinner down there at Waycom. Come on, man. He made that happen. There's all the dirty work on the interior. Not being a box scorer. Mitchell will get credit for it.
Santos Silva across the lane. In and out. Another rebound for Vital.
Now it's getting a little bit scary here for Texas Tech. McClung can't get any open shots. Every time I watch him play, it seems every shot he gets is a tough shot. I think people play him so tough. I have so much respect for his game.
Butler hand checked by McClung, so that's McClung's third.
He's my Mr. Glue of the year. My Mr. Glue of the year. We should pick that. Hard workers. There he is, kicking it out. Man, big three. Yes, credit that to Mr. Vital.
Already with 10 rebounds to go along with 8 points on senior day. Mark Vital playing one of those Mark Vital kind of games. The 4th time this season he's hit double figures in rebounds. And add on the fact that Baylor is 8 for 12 shooting the three.
Well, that's there, you know, let's look at Vital with 8 points. He rebounds 10, keeps balls alive, gets the 50-50 ball. Think about that.
Play by Santos Silva to take it away from ACOT.
You know, it was one of my glue guys years ago. You're not going to believe this. One of my glue guys, somebody remind me of this. One of my glue guys, he was an unbelievable glue guy. Tacked the rim, really rebound, plays tough defense, played on a great team. Their team only lost 2 games and beat 86 in the national championship game. I'm talking about Duke. I'm talking about Mr. Jay Billis. Billis was a glue guy, man. He was tough, hard-nosed. Wow, he got on a glass. I don't see no response on you. Well, you weren't around in the 80s. 80s, you weren't around. You were too young.
No, you're right. I'm 20. I just sound older.
He played on a great team with Johnny Dawkins.
That was really that first team that launched Coach K to Coach K status. Chama Chachua on the deck, forces one in the front court. Butler's got it.
That's the recruiting class. That was a great class.
Foul call. And Kyler Edwards being held back by Clarence Nadolny as Nadolny wanted to make sure Edwards didn't say the magic words as Baylor's lead now up to 8. You don't need a technical foul out of frustration.
Yeah, you don't want to tee here now, down 8. Stay away from the striped shirt. Good play right there. Good play by Nadolny. Jumped in.
They called the foul on McCullough. That's his third.
They got so many weapons when you talk about Baylor. So many guys that can make shots.
Meyer grazed the hustle from the corner. That was Vital camping in a
Vital again. Are you serious?
Takes advantage.
Come on. He's my Mr. Blue guy. Oh, wow.
This, of course, the first time since they have won a conference title since 1950, 71 years. So Baylor is making history, and we have witnessed a lot of it this season. Baba Shoes and Dick Vitale, and the Bears with an 11-point lead as we approach the midway point of the second half.
The play of Vital has been so big. It's been vital. I'll tell you that. Vital's been vital.
That's good. And having to force one up is McCullough. Offensive rebound, Peavy, after they beat the timer. And Peavy's able to bank one in.
Well, see the patience right there? He was patient. He had poise, and he got points. The 3 Ps.
Meyer will go to the free throw line. That we've navigated our way through in college basketball. Should be a different kind of selection Sunday.
I really do. It's not apples to apples when you're comparing teams. I just know that the committee's going to have to look at all the numbers, all the facts, and analyze and evaluate. You know they're going to do a great job. And there'll be always guys screaming and yelling. This once you get in, I know I've been famous for that. But I think I'm going to be a little light on this. I really am. I think the committee, whatever they do, at least we're going to have basketball, and that's really a key. We're going to have some basketball. There'll be some quality teams, obviously, in there. I'm only hoping that 2 teams that I really would love to see in the dance were upsetting their tournaments. That's Loyola, won their tournament, and getting beat was Drake. I have to see Drake at 25-4, and Belmont's another team. I think those 2 teams really belong in the dance. We should recognize greatness. And greatness, when you come back with the argument, yes, and I understand the argument about who do they play. Well, the bottom line is you play in front of you on your schedule. And some teams lose consistently because they're in a conference, but get some good wins because they get so many opportunities. It's like rolling a dice, man. You keep rolling, you're going to get some wins. I mean, that's just the way of life. So they get opportunity after opportunity, and the little guy doesn't get it. That's my only statement, and I'm going to be very kind to the committee and very nice because this has been one crazy, wacky year with dealing with this pandemic and the pauses that teams have had. I mean, take a look. We talked here about the 17-day pause. We think about Michigan and their big pause, Michigan State. What about Iona? 51 days they went without playing a game, couldn't practice, and all this jazz. Just incredible. Big three right there, but it's 10 now, Baylor.
Well, you talk about recognizing greatness. We're seeing greatness with the game that Maceo Teague is playing. He is 7 of 8 from three-point land as Shannon gets a steal. That's blocked from behind by Mitchell, but it is followed up. And Texas Tech not going away, down by 8 as Chibuzo Agbo got the loose change midway through the second half. We've still got a game, and now a timeout called by Scott Drew.
Somebody told me that Agbo's going to be a real good player.
The number 3 team in America. He's never played in an NCAA tournament. He sat out for a year after transferring from UNC Asheville, where he played his first 2 seasons. So last year was his first year at Baylor, and of course we had no NCAA tournament last year. So here he is again for 3.
Are you kidding me?
Shooting from Maceo Teague.
How did they leave him wide open? I mean, he shot that one down from Lubbock. He said, I shot that from Lubbock. That was in the Waco. Putting a show on. Nice change.
Drives it to the goal and throws it down.
I tell you one thing, he looked a little bit like the guy that played at Arizona State, but it didn't Harden. Wow, that left-hander went down there. But what he's doing with the Nets is amazing.
It is amazing.
Where did he get all 3?
Chamo Chachua denied at the rim. Here comes Mac McClung. Texas Tech has this at single digits in spite of the fact that Baylor is 11 of 17 shooting the 3. Peavy leans in. He's got a chance for a 3-point play.
And they're hanging here, and they're doing it without McClung scoring at all. Baylor has shut him down big time. There's a driving to go. Good to go. There's the contact. No one's going to try Shannon. Look at this move by Shannon. The left-hander. He makes like a little James. Gammon James. He gave up a lot, the Nets, to get him. But, man, it's been worth it.
Matthew Meyer picked up that last foul. That's his 4th. So Meyer has 4 for Baylor. McCullough has 4 for Texas Tech. And Peavy does not get the roll. And then a cheap foul called on Santos Silva.
You know, it's amazing, Bob. They're down 7, and the team is down 11 for 17 against them shooting the 3. I mean, that's just amazing when you think about it. That was 33 points, 11 threes. Even my mathematical mind can figure that out.
Santos Silva takes a seat as Chris Beard's not happy with his second foul.
He's at least playing a lot more because earlier in the year he was getting foul trouble on a regular basis. Chris Beard didn't need another assistant coach.
Butler looking cross court, and McClung intercepted the pass intended for Teague. Mac McClung leans in. It's off the rim, and another foul call. This one on Micah Peavy as he ended up throwing Davion Mitchell down.
We saw the opportunity right there about McClung. And again, another example, not an easy opportunity. Being challenged like big time everywhere he goes on the floor.
That's the 3rd on Peavy. Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, a must-have for Big 12 fans. Tomorrow, the Lady Bears host West Virginia at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Plus, the Red Raider baseball team will take on Gonzaga Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. And the Big 12 women's basketball tournament starts on Thursday. If you're a Big 12 fan, you gotta have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big12 now.
I'm going to give the edge to Texas Tech in baseball. They got a great program there for years.
Butler lobs it. Hanging from the rim. Chamo Chachua.
Chamo Chachua. Oh, man. Right up there big time. Wow. Chamo Chachua. Chachua Wells.
Very close. You're getting there. That's a fadeaway. And nicely done. As it's knocked down again by Kyler Edwards. That's his first basket in the second half. He had 13 in the first half to lead Texas Tech. He's been quiet, but that makes it a 7-point game.
Gotta come up with some defensive stops here.
Davion Mitchell. Another 3 for Baylor. That's their 12th.
12 threes. You can see people, why they lead the nation in shooting a three. They spot up, good execution. They know where people are, and they make sure the ball goes in the hands of guys capable of making the three. That's the key, putting the ball in the hands of the right people. I want to see McClung get a wide open shot one time. Never does.
Davion Mitchell with the rebound off the Edwards miss. Another three on the way. That one off the mark from Flagler.
Comes contagious. Flagler's really good. Lately, he's not shooting as well as he did, but he had a stretch where he was playing really great. Oh, what a great pass to the inside.
Shannon Fonsanto Silva, and he tips in his own miss.
Yeah, good second effort by Santos Silva. They don't go away, though. They keep battling and battling and battling. The Red Raiders, that's certainly the personality of their coach.
Jared Butler. Yes.
It's almost comical watching what we're seeing here. I mean, people can't make those shots who shoot in practice with the number of regularity they're making them. Whether it be Butler, whether it be Mitchell, whether it be Teague.
McClung.
When's he going to use the shot?
Santos Silva leans in, spins it off the backboard, but Butler's got the miss.
Jared Butler, what a great career he's had.
Davion Mitchell at the elbow. That rolls around and falls through.
Everything he throws up falls through. Well, you know, I usually scream and yell about teams 3-4 games under 500. I'll make an exception there for Michigan State. I really will, because number one, you beat Illinois and you beat Ohio State at the time they were number 4 and number 5 in the country. Come on. And when they lost 3 games in a row, they just came back. They just came back from COVID-19 and just really a problem where they were laid up 17 days. They had to go on a road and play 3 games against the likes of, you know, teams like Rutgers on the road, and I think it was Iowa, and I think also Wisconsin might have been part of that. 3. And then they got the rhythm and started going. They start playing good basketball. So I really have no problem with Michigan State if they're in the big dance. I really don't. I think there's an exception here because of the toughness what they face, and they have proven you could beat the likes of Illinois and you beat the likes of Ohio State. You can play. And the bottom line is, it's not over today. They were up 2 here in the second half, and they're challenging Michigan right now. I know Michigan lost Eli Brooks to an ankle injury. That'll be something to be really watching because he's a valuable player for them. You can't lose key players now, Bob. You can't lose key players in your rotation now and not be hurt. That's why I feel so bad for the kids at Drake. They're a club scorer. We're talking about club scorer and rebounder. The kid Hempel, he's been out for the last 3-4 weeks, and he's supposed to be coming back now in the postseason. He had a foot surgery. I mean, that's a major loss.
Avery Benson comes in for the first time as Chris Beard dips down the bench with some important players in foul trouble. Kevin McCullough, of course, going to have to go possession by possession. He's got 4 fouls, and now traveling is called. It is a turnover for Baylor. And Texas Tech has a chance with McCullough coming right back in with the 4 fouls to try to get this to single digits with 5.5 minutes to go.
Well, Edwards created a turnover there. It could have been possibly a charge as well, but he created a turnover to work in violation with the defensive, what he did defensively, rotating over.
The story of this game has been Baylor from 3. 8 made threes for Maceo Teague alone. 8 for 9 from three-point land.
Well, teams like to make 8, never mind one guy. And then you factor in certainly the other players, Mitchell and Butler. They've had a big day shooting the 3.
McClung can't connect from the corner. And that
finally got an open look. Finally got an open look.
13th rebound for Mark Vital.
He's having a great game on senior night. Must be sort of hustle plays. I mean, his hustle plays today that led to 3 great opportunities for the team, and they scored. Just unbelievable. Good spacing right here. They're well coached, man. They're well coached.
Cruising to the goal, an easy 2 for Jared Butler.
That was too easy. Nobody rotated over. Nobody cut his driving angle off.
It's out of bounds off McCullough. for the 36th year. Chink Week continues on the networks of ESPN tomorrow. It's the West Coast Conference semifinals. St. Mary's Gonzaga at 9 Eastern on ESPN. And over on ESPN2, game number 2, Pepperdine squares off against BYU at midnight Eastern. You can watch these games live, as always, on the ESPN app from anywhere.
Let me ask you, Bob, are we going to see for the first time since 1976 when the shy, introverted Robert Montgomery Knight guided his team to an unbeaten season, winning the championship, going unbeaten in the Big Ten? Are we going to see that out of Mr. Few and Gonzaga?
Well, if they win the national championship, they'll be undefeated, because I don't see them losing either of these 2 games of the West Coast Conference tournament. Right? They're going to be prohibitive favorites to win that league, and if they come undefeated out of that league, that's it. They've got to make a run in the NCAA tournament and win a national championship as an undefeated team.
He's done a great job, man. They got 2 All-Americans there in Suggs and Kispert. I mean, you got to talk about those 2 guys who have just been tremendous. Timmy on the inside, and great role players as well, and well coached. They proved early in the year they went out and played some quality teams and did exceptionally well. You know, Baylor played Illinois earlier in the season and had a big win over the Fighting Illini. In fact, Baylor's best wins: Kansas, Illinois, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State. Those are probably their best wins of the year.
Well, anytime you win a game in the Big 12, there's a pretty good chance you're beating a ranked team. As Baylor this season is 6-1 against ranked opponents. Here they leave a wide-open 3-point look. And it's a 12-point game with 4.5 minutes to go as Kyler Edwards with his 4th triple. Teague tries again. Knocks another one down. He has now tied the record in a Big 12 conference game. 9 made threes, along with Lasdarius Dunn at Kansas State. Makai Mason. The tip follow. Avery Benson. They'll call that basket interference. But 9 made threes for Maceo Teague.
Wow. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Hey, by the way, Michigan State was up 7 with about 12 minutes to go. Michigan could be up to the city. Michigan State time is they want to pull the knockout.
He can't make another. He can't make another. 10 for 11 from 3-point land for Maceo Teague.
He is stroking it, my man. One of the greatest I've seen in my 42 years in terms of a shooting exhibition. Now, I don't think I've ever seen Reggie and Mullen and Alford do this in a game situation. 10 for 11 against a team that defends fairly well. Look at that stroke, the follow through young people. You see the rotation. I mean, man, is he shooting the rock. Is he shooting the rock? He's the NBN man today. Nothing but nylon out of Mr. Teague. Wow.
Add up his years at UNC Asheville. He's gone over 1,800 career points today. And he's up to 271 made threes in his college career.
271, man. Guys didn't even take 271 in practice. Made. We call it made. Not attempted. Made. Backdoor cut.
And McCullough on the reverse lays it in. But just too much from 3-point land for Baylor today, for any team to handle. The lob to Vital. He's got a double-double on senior day.
Vital's been Mr. Vital today. Oh, he's been an important guy. He has hustled, he has scrapped, he has clawed. He's brought pride to that uniform. You know, it's a real sad thing. Real sad thing. Texas Tech has played fairly well. They played fairly well. But the shooting just took them in. Unbelievable. Now, right there is a little break back and get back defensively. Most of this game, they have really been right there, head to head, nose to nose with the shooting, Mr. Vital. See what the 3-point shot can do? It just changes the whole complexion of the game. Changes it quickly. I was saying earlier about Michigan State, they're trying to go to knockout punch. They're saying, we don't want the committee. We don't want the committee to decide whether we get in or not. If we beat Michigan today, we're here. We beat Michigan. It's Lock City. You know what? They're right. It'd be like Muhammad Ali, man. Knocking the committee out. Bam. Left, right. Knocking him down. That's what this is doing. He's making like Muhammad today. He's making like the champ. He said, I want to knock the committee out. I want to get him out of here. I don't want no decision. I mean, you put Illinois, you put Ohio State, and you put Michigan on that resume as W's. I don't care what that record says. Even the BBDI says they belong in. Forget that theory and theme. You got to be 500 or better. Make exceptions.
34 for Maceo Teague as Champ Week rolls on later with one more women's title game.
Oh, we do Mr. Vital and we do Mr. Teague.
Now, there's one player of the game. It's our Phillips 66 player of the game, not players of the game. Do you want to take a guy that's got 10 made threes and give it to someone else?
No. He deserves that, too. But I think Vital deserves one, too. Oh, little backdoor cut.
Call it backdoor again. Flagler commits the foul.
I'll give Vital my VBDI player of the game for the way he hustled the scrap. I love guys like this. You win. Looks like they're in a good mindset going to the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, we talked to Scott Drew last week after they had that home win after the pause against Iowa State, where he said even in a win, we look worse in that game than we did in our loss to Kansas. And a couple of games after the 21-day layoff, Baylor looked terrible. Nothing like what they normally appear to be. And then they flipped the switch. Got over 90 points in the overtime win Tuesday against West Virginia. And since then and through today, I think it's safe to say Baylor's back. They're 15 of 22 from three-point land today.
They came back and beat Oklahoma State as well. Oklahoma State is playing really great basketball. They beat them by 11 points. You gotta like this guy. You can't help to like Scott Drew. Comes from a great family. His dad, Homer, did a great job when he was coaching. He's a cancer survivor, and I'm really so proud. In fact, this year at our gala, Scott's going to be introducing me. That's he called yesterday, and he's going to be down here, and he's going to introduce me at the gala, and he's just a great guy. I'm going to honor him the following year. Following year, we got Keyshawn Johnson, football star. We got Chris Everett, tennis superstar. We got Scott Drew, and we got Ron Gilmore. He's going to be a recipient. Talk about courage. ESPN football guy. Raised so much courage battling cancer. He's going to be the recipient of the John Saunders Courage Award.
That's great.
And you're introducing me, by the way, at the big party at my house the day after the gala.
I'll be honored. How many people introduce you? I'm on a list of like 7 that weekend, right, that introduce you?
No, those are 2. The gala and the house party.
Here comes Mark Patterson, a walk-on, getting an opportunity to get in the game on senior day. Vital's got another rebound. 15 rebounds to go along with 10 points. He can't make another one. That one a little too strong for Maceo Teague.
He missed one. See, I would get him out of the game now. You don't want a guy to get hurt. Guys here, the big thing now, you want to make sure you have a healthy team. This game is over, locked up.
Now a chance at the free throw line for Mark Patterson, the walk-on, to find his way to the box score on senior day.
Well, walk-ons, they play so hard. They're so proud to put a uniform on. It's great to see him get an opportunity to score. When he gets older, he will tell his family, he makes this, you're not going to believe it. With a minute 50 on the clock, I was on the line. We played Texas Tech, a big game. Bobby Schuzen was on the call of the game. This other guy was on the call, I don't know who he is, but Bobby Schuzen, and he talked about me. If I'd have coming out, getting a lot of hugs.
Yeah, talk about a well-earned curtain call on senior day right here. Mark Vital exits his final game at the Ferrell Center. 10 points and 15 rebounds.
And all kinds of hustle. Nice hug from Chris Beard. Great sportsmanship being shown. It's been a lot of work, Bob, the last few days. 3 games in 4 days. That's a real test. So you don't understand it. You're not 81 years old. That's a test on your mindset, preparation. You get a memory. That's a lot of work.
Curtain time for Maceo T.
He gets a lot of hugs. He deserves that, man. Was he stroking it today? Oh, was he stroking it? He was the NBN, nothing but nylon man. Oh, yeah, he made, Mr. Patterson's going to talk about, it was a close game. I went to the line with 1:50, and I converted. He's going to tell his kids, man, that's going to be a historic moment for him.
Benson, there's a 3. Avery Benson is able to knock one down, but this is all Baylor coming up on 90 seconds to go. And now you can see a couple of the other walk-ons and bench players are now going to be put in by Scott Drew. And we've got a couple of more curtain calls. Looks like Jared Butler and Davion Mitchell are going to come out.
Big day, man. Big day, Mr. T. 10 made threes. A wreck. Look at Hustle. Good offensive rebound. Another
Patterson.
one. 3 opportunities.
Back won't go. A fight for the loose ball. And a tie-up. And the possession arrow will keep it with Baylor. With Jackson Moffitt sporting a strong moment off the bench.
You think about the tempo of the game. We talked about it. The tempo got away from Texas Tech. They got to play the game in the 60s. They can't beat this club getting in the 80s.
Moffitt goes back door and lost it. Well, this Baylor team heads into now the Big 12 championship this coming week and head towards Selection Sunday. They have certainly now proven they have completely shaken off any rust from the COVID pause, because they are looking very much like a 1 seed.
I'm going to tell you one thing. Texas Tech's not going to be any easy opponent for anyone at all either. People that get them in that early rounds, they're going to have to come to play to beat this team. Oh, nice pass.
Only a pocket pass, and it'll be a chance for Agbo at the free throw line for a 3-point play.
Nice little look to him, really. Smith gets a score. What a nice little bounce pass.
We'll check that, Smith.
You know, watching the game today is Tim Siegel, former tennis coach at Texas Tech, just sent me a text. He said, I'm watching the game with my son Luke, and I introduced you to Luke. You met him, remember that time, Bob?
Yep.
Real challenge. Youngster was a major accident. And brain injury and a major accident off the golf court. His dad has done amazing, raising money and helping other young people battling that. Tribute to him. It's all Baylor today, man. Baylor on senior day. There's 2 really outstanding coaches, respect for each other. And Baylor's going to be heard from at the tournament.
For the first time since 1948,